going on, trading addicts? Welcome to the weekly watch list. This is Jeff Kohler, aka Option Addict, from over at www.tradingaddicts.com. Let's kick off the watch list with a little bit of market analysis. You know, this longer term setup that we've been watching here, this cup and handle type formation, is looking pretty darn good. Market's been really resilient as of late. To me, it looks like it wants more upside. We'll probably stay around these highs for at least the first couple days, and we'll see how prices react. But market stays really strong up here. We're net long going into this. We have been for quite a while, so it's kind of what I'm feeling right now. The equity indices are all on buy signals. If you take a look at, let's say, the S&Ps here, or most commodity contracts, crude oil, copper, everything else, they all look pretty good here. So to me, it looks like you might want to look for the breakout here of these 1225 highs. And if that happens, you look at the longer term charts and they look really constructive. And again, I think that's all predicated on dollar weakness. So if the dollar continues to roll over like it has been, and it's been crushed for the last few days, then look for equity prices to continue higher. The one thing I would like to observe here, though, just in watching prices, if they do want to rally this week, is I would like to see copper lead the market up. And it's stuck here right up against its former highs, just like equities are. But if copper can lead to the upside here, and all the same industry groups are rallying, financials are looking really good, materials still look good, just about everything looks good here. If that continues into next week, then we've got a lot of reasons for stocks to go higher. So, but as you know, I like to call them both ways. I like to point out some bullish setups and some bearish setups. So let's take a look at a couple buy the dip setups and a couple sell the rip setups. Take a look. Now on to the list of price patterns that I have for this week. I've got quite a few, so let's get through them pretty quickly. I'm going to start off with QLogic, QLGC. This thing looks ready to go probably tomorrow. I think you want to look to initiate a long position in this, so long as equities stay up. It's been hovering around that 200-day moving average, but coiled up and look ready to pop. So QLGC, one of the names I like heading into this week. I think you also got to like MGM here, and we've got a position, as a disclaimer, but it looks pretty good breaking out of this continuation pattern. And casinos, for the most part, like Las Vegas Sands, Wynn, they look pretty similar. Other one I like here is Lin Energy, L-I-N-E, coiled up exactly the same. So look for prices to pop. They've been holding on that 20-day moving average, which you can use to manage risk. Volume looked good for the last couple days of the week here, so I think you want to be a buyer into that name. EMC, another consolidation pattern that I'd look for a breakout in next week. EMC has been trading really well. RFMD perked up on Friday a little bit. Not a lot of volume, but again, another coiling pattern where prices look ready to break away from this range and make their advance up to about $8 and maybe even north of that. Rambus is another one we've been tracking for a while. This thing popped just outside of this pattern on Friday, right into the close. And as long as it gets above that 200-day moving average, this thing should be a runner. So watch Rambus. You also got to like Huntington Bank shares here. We've actually been in a position since right down through here. We anticipated this move down at the 560 level, give or take. And if you look at the longer dated pattern here, we've got some really good gains. These options are really cheap, but it's breaking out of this base. So look for this rounded bottom pattern to continue up to my price objective, which is going to be somewhere right in the vicinity of 7. ATPG, that's another name that I'm currently long, but another stock that looked hot on Friday with some big volume. So if this thing gets away from this little consolidation pattern, which technically it's right there, if it breaks out, goes north of 16, it goes up to about 17.5. So you'll want to watch that. If you like the miners, which I'm kind of mixed, but Nova Gold would definitely be my favorite here. I like this consolidation pattern, this breakout we saw on Friday, and that one looks good for higher prices. Also, my under-the-radar group this week is going to be the airlines. US Air to buy right here, and then Delta, which traded a little bit better. They all look like they're seeing that higher low, which is usually where you can anticipate the higher low in this continuation pattern. And Delta, this 1450 level is pretty important going way back, so I think you want to be a buyer in those names here. Akamai looking for continuation out of this ascending triangle pattern, which looks pretty good. This right here, there's a little bit of a trend here, and I think that's the dip you want to buy before the breakout. So that's going to be a big move outside of these highs this coming week. Activision, This one's a mover already, and I like this into weakness. Not going to chase here, but if it pulls back, there's been a big year-long consolidation pattern that this is just now breaking out of. So I'd look to buy weakness. Woof is another name we looked at last week, and a break of these highs here, which is just about there, means a run up to the 200-day moving average as a target price. So look for that to happen this week. Take a look at HLX, another name in the energy patch, which looks pretty good so long as it holds these lows. If these lows give way, not interested, but if they hold here, I'd be a dip buyer. WDC, NTAP was a pretty strong name from last week's watch list, and then Western Digital, I think, is a pretty good play off of that. Good consolidation pattern, a trend that's held up pretty well, and a stock that's been off the radar for long enough now to where I think it's going to want to try to move. So keep an eye on that. EXXI, cup and handle pattern. Look for a trade up north of about 27. SKS is a retail name that I like that's coiled up pretty well up here. Look for a break away from that. And then last but not least, SD. And you can take this one all the way back. So a break above, let's call it 570, 575. Move up to the 200-day moving average, and then a possible break from there. So those are the names I like this week, guys. And also in closing, before I forget, you got to hit me up on Facebook. You can find me under Trading Addicts. Also Twitter, find me at Trading Addicts. Make sure you hook up with us there. We're going to be providing a lot of updates through those channels in terms of open houses, trades, performance, all that stuff. So make sure you look for me there. But I'm looking forward to another great week, guys. We've been on an absolute tear, and as always, we've got that 5-day, $5 trial. Come try us out. Come see what we're trading. Guaranteed we can make you some money. So anyways, guys, this has been The Option Addict. That's been my watch list. Thanks for watching. Have a profitable week.
But still I fall like no tomorrow. Good night is over with, that's all she wrote. All she wrote, all she wrote. I said it's over with, that's all she wrote. All she wrote, all she wrote. Yeah, good night is over with, that's all she wrote. It's stupid how I go and no one